Good morning, everyone. What a day. Fantastic update to bring you here. Quite excited for a number of reasons. One, because it's light outside. So it is currently 6:15 and I'm back from the gym, and what a workout. What a workout indeed. So squat and deadlift day today. Really fantastic. Okay, love these days. Obviously deadlifts, if you see my previous videos, deadlifts are my favorite exercise, and squat not my favorite exercise, but the way it went today could turn out to be one of my favorite exercises. So let's start. So when I squat and deadlift, I like to have a good sufficient warm-up, and I take my time doing this. And I woke up about 20 minutes before my alarm, so it gave me good ample time to get to the gym, okay, in a relaxed way, have my coffee on the journey with my hydration sachet, and get to the gym and slowly warm up. And I jumped on the bike, did around 25 calorie, 30 calorie, can't remember which one it was, just to warm up very slowly. Generally takes about 3.5–4 minutes just to get blood into the lower body. And then I take around 30 to 45 minutes to stretch out parts of my body that I know is going to have important play into the up and coming workout. So squat and deadlift, obviously primarily lower body, and I concentrate on the lower part, but I also obviously been heavily play into stabilizing those two movements. The upper body I do stretch out as well, okay, and I start off with static stretching and then eventually move into ballistic stretching, which will prime my body into which will be my first exercise, and that was squats. And it was performed today with four sets of 3, and the weight moved really well, shockingly well, if I was to be honest. It really felt light. I felt like I had full control of the weight, and it felt somewhat explosive at the bottom to get up to the top, which I don't often get with squats. I don't really have an explosive movement in my squats or deadlifts. I'm not an explosive lifter, but the way this went, okay, maybe I am going to turn out to be. But anyway, that was 4 sets of 3, and moved on to deadlifts. Again, 4 sets of 3. And when I did this program, when I put the peaking phase together, I knew exactly what was coming up during this peak phase when it came to squats and deadlifts, because the weights are based on percentages of my maximum weight I lift in those movements. And when I saw this, I knew this was going to be the first week which is really going to test me. And it really did test me, if I was to be honest. It felt very heavy, a lot heavier than I anticipated, although it felt comfortable. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you ever been to the gym where you feel it's hard but comfortable, you'll know exactly what I mean. And the first set went really well, okay, but I did get a little bit weary because I did feel quite fatigued at this point from the squats. As I say, although the squats were moved well, it's gonna obviously fatigue you the more you put into that particular exercise. And it really came out in the second set of deadlifts, where I came down on the second rep and I slightly put the bar down a little bit further forward than my technique kind of should be. Okay, I say technique, obviously you need to put it close to your shins as possible when you're doing deadlifts, and it was a little bit off. And when I pulled on the third lift, I failed the movement, but straight away I knew it was not because of the weight, it was because of the technique. And I was right, because the third set I did my 3 reps. However, I felt on the third rep that my lower back was fatigued at this point, and I knew if I was going to do my 4th set that it was either going to be, okay, failure on lifting 3 reps or getting 3 reps in a bad technique, with a bad technique. So I opted to leave it there and ended up doing 3 sets of 3 rather than 4. But this is where I've said many times, know your body, okay, and know what it can do and what it can't. And I was right and happy with leaving it there. Normally, if I don't follow the plan exactly, I get a little bit irritated or get a little bit annoyed, but I knew this was for the best, so I made the right decision. Assistance work. So my first assistance exercise was 1.25 squats. Sometimes this is known as cyclist squats, okay, where you go all the way down, go up a quarter of the way, go back down, come up, and it's 5 sets of 3. And when I do assistance exercises for squats and deadlifts, because the weight obviously is massively reduced compared to my actual squat weight, then again it's based on a percentage, but because it moves so well, okay, and as I say, with most often, I'm not too bothered with timings, but in this particular peak I wanted to be precise, and I opted to do each 3 minutes on the minute, which basically means it comes from basically the CrossFit world. And I put the stopwatch on, okay, I have 3 minutes to do the lift and rest, okay. So you can obviously, if it takes you 15 seconds, then you've got 2 minutes 45 to rest. If it takes you 30 seconds, you're in 2.5 minutes. But every 3rd minute you do your set, 5 sets of 3, okay, at each 3 minute on the minute. And it moved really well. Again, feeling quite fatigued, but felt great. And the next assistance exercise was for deadlift, and this was pause deadlift, my favorite assistance exercise for deadlift. But this was quite challenging, again based on a percentage of my 1 rep max. But although it moved well, I was heavily fatigued, okay. But I did my 5 sets of 3, and again I performed this with each 3 minute on the minute, okay. And maybe I should have, in hindsight, just extended that, but like I say, I wanted to be precise as possible, and I like to perform my assistance exercises for squats and deadlift generally, okay. It does depend obviously on how heavy that cycle is taking me for these 2 lifts, but generally I like to keep the rest a lot lower. And this is a way of keeping you honest during the assistance exercise. And I finished off doing 5 sets of 4 on the lying leg curls with a 3-second negative, okay. And this was feeling great. I decided not to push it. I mean, the goal wasn't to go to complete failure anyway, but I decided not to push it because I did feel my lower back, okay, fatigued when I was lowering the weight. So again, went heavy, but it felt good doing it. And obviously 3-second negatives going to challenge you to a higher degree as well. Now yesterday, okay, maybe part of the reason why I felt really good is I had a very high carb last meal, and I had it earlier than I was planning to, just because I was quite hungry at this point, and got in a large amount of carbs, and didn't worry about the protein because I got my protein in my first 3 meals, but I did add in protein. It just wasn't a huge amount, and as I say, it felt really good, okay. Warm bowl of porridge, and I added a few Cheerios to it, and some fruit as well. And it felt good because it was cold last night as well, so the warm porridge felt amazing. I don't really have a lot of oats nowadays, but this might be my go-to pre-workout meal for the last meal before squats and deadlifts. So guys, yeah, I'm happy to bring this update to you. So guys, as always, any questions on anything I'm doing, or you want to know, or I can help in any way, hit me up, okay. You can either message me through my website, okay, or DM me on Instagram, okay. And I've got some exciting things to bring you guys on my site, and I can't wait to bring them out. So guys, have a great rest of your weekend, okay, and happy days. Tomorrow I'm just doing a little bit of steady state cardio. I really want to do it tomorrow, especially after doing squats and deadlifts. I think that something like cycling, with low impact, low impact movement, sorry, and something that isn't going to push me up, but I do believe getting blood into those muscles that's been worked today is going to benefit me. So I'll do that, but I'll bring an update tomorrow and let you know what I've done. Guys, have a great rest of the day and see you tomorrow.